Well, Channel 3 is your back to school authority, and we are speaking with superintendents all around our great state to get the scoop on back to school. Today, I am joined by Dr. Brian Lutzy, who is the superintendent of New Canaan Schools in Fairfield County. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning.
Yeah, we are excited to have you here and learn all about the new things. It feels like this really is a fresh start for a lot of superintendents because this is a year where we're sort of returning, hopefully, to normal. Tell me about one of the things you're most excited about.
Yeah, well, you're right. There's so much excitement in the air. We can't wait to get started. We actually began this week with our new teachers and our administrative retreat and other things. So as we prepare to go into the new school year, one of the things we're doing is implementing healthier start times, which is an initiative we started back in 2017. And as you can imagine, with the pandemic and all of the disruption that caused, it's been a challenge to see it across the finish line. So we're very excited to get this underway this year.
Yeah, that means the older students are going to get to sleep an extra 30 minutes.
You got it. The grades 7 through 12 will start at 8 o'clock instead of 7:30. It's about a half an hour shift for them, which I think will make a big difference. We've also gone to a block schedule and done some other things. So all told, we're really working hard to create the healthiest environment we can for all of our kids. We've also aligned our elementary kids to start at 8:40. So all three of our elementary schools will be at 8:40. And then our 5th and 6th graders will start at 9:15.
Okay, everyone's getting a little extra sleep. And tell me about the outdoor centers. This is something that came out of the pandemic, but that you think is worth keeping.
Absolutely right. One of the things we learned early was being outside was healthier and safer. So we started to integrate the outdoors into our instruction. And before we knew it, teachers and students were finding that it was better outside than inside, no matter what. So we've, with the partnership of our parent groups, we've been fundraising and implementing outdoor learning centers at each of our buildings, K-12 across the board, where kids and classes can go outside with some theaters outside and some classroom spaces designated. Even some of them have reading nooks and pathways to walk, and really taking advantage of the courtyards in our buildings to create these wonderful learning spaces where sometimes 3 or 4 different classes can use it simultaneously to get outside and breathe fresh air and do their work in their class together. It's really special work that our parents are helping us do.
That's great. It's great to have them outside. Parents always want their kids outside. And I also read enrollment is up. Is that a result of new families kind of leaving big cities like New York during the pandemic?
That is what we're seeing. Yeah, and we've always been pretty consistent with our enrollment. We do have a slight uptick now. And what we're seeing are people moving maybe out of Westchester County, out of some of the cities. And we pull from New York, certainly. We also pull, nationally. We pull from a couple of other places too, from Texas and even some families from California. We've had a few refugee families from Ukraine come. So it's a pretty wide swath of folks coming in. But the majority of our folks do come from New York, right over the border.
And I hear you're making a new planetarium?
Word travels. We've had an innovation initiative that we began last year that's really picking up steam and going to be doing great things in our schools. So we've had a planetarium at our high school since 1970. The projector that's in there now is the original, and it's a wonderful space, but it's time for an upgrade. So we've been working with the town, and again, a parent group has come together to do amazing fundraising work for us so that we can refurbish the entire space and truly turn it into something spectacular for our kids. Because when we think about where we are and we feel like we're entering into a new golden age of innovation, science, math, STEM, and this planetarium is going to be a resource for everybody to use, K-12 in the community too.
Yeah, I mean, New Canaan has always been an exemplary school district with, a lot of innovation and scoring so well nationally. And I noticed you mentioned twice your parent groups, and I'm wondering, maybe what other districts can learn from. How important is it, your parent groups who are getting these major initiatives done or helping get them done?
You know what? Parents always have a seat at the table for us here in New Canaan. I've learned I was the high school principal before becoming superintendent back in 2014, that we are so much better when we are equal partners at the table and working and learning together and doing this work. Our parent involvement is extremely high. We welcome them to come in and talk with us and to be partners with us, to do the work with us. Nobody does anything to each other here. We do it all together because truly we're lucky to be in a community that values the work that we do in the schools, and they want to be a part of it because they know how important it is. We believe that the work we do in our classrooms and classrooms across the country and the world, that's the most important work on the planet. We are creating the future together. And our parents want to be a part of that. And we want them to be because they have such amazing stories and histories and knowledge and experience to bring to help make us better. And that, as a learning district and a learning organization, that is one of our foundational beliefs.
I know it's been a struggle for kids and for parents, socially, emotionally, all the transition we've had from the pandemic. Hopefully we'll see even more silver linings as we get a little farther down the road. But, some kids are having learning gaps and there's missing things and all of that. What's your recommendation to kind of help people surpass that and really start strong and stay strong this year?
Sure. One of my recommendations is to begin with the social emotional health of the students and the community and the parents and the teachers, everybody else. Start from a strong foundation there. Make sure that everyone is healthy and ready to learn as we enter. And there's so much work that we can do around that. There going to be gaps, some shortcomings here and there that show up on some testing and things. And we have the expertise to solve that problem. We've been working through response to intervention and other approaches towards instruction for a long time. We're very good at that. But what we really have to focus on also is making sure that our students come in, that they're ready to learn, that our parents are there as equal partners to help and assist as we grow together, and that our staff have the support and the resources they need to make it happen. We can do this. We know how to do this work, but we really have to start with the whole child, the whole teacher, the whole parent, the whole environment, make that as healthy and strong and cohesive as it can be, and we'll all improve together.
And when you look down maybe 5 years, what's your goal? Do you think education is going to be changing a lot?
It is changing all the time. Somebody told me years ago, and it's proven to be true, don't expect things to ever slow down, just expect them to change. And that's exactly what my career has shown, and I think lots of us in education have seen. Today is it's the fastest the world has ever moved and the slowest it ever will, right? So we've got to be aware of that, and we've got to make sure that we continue to do our very best to prepare our students for what's ahead. And we do that best by continuously learning ourselves, right? As parents, as educators, as leaders in the work that we do. I'm so excited to see what comes. I think the integration of education and technology is accelerated to such an amazing place right now, and we're just beginning to realize what's possible there. Between, we see the planetarium as a collective virtual reality experience. So being able to go from that kind of an experience to an individual experience, whether it's a headset or something else. I mean, we have technology now that can transport kids in time or space anywhere our imagination can take us. And to think about the hands-on learning and the opportunities that provides is so inspiring to all of us, I think, when we think about what's ahead. Yeah. So I can't wait. I'm very excited about it.
So I know for moms or dads who are listening and they're thinking, gosh, I just want my kid to do well. I don't want him to make the mistakes that I made or whatever. And you've got those natural students who study every night, who have perfect homework routines. And you've got other ones who are like, please don't let summer end. What's your advice to parents? We're not supposed to take over too much. We're not supposed to do their work for them. But if that student's just you want to see them push it a little bit more, they need to, how do you do that? How do you get the students to do it on their own? I want to hear from the expert.
Oh boy. Well, it's a process of parenting, and I have 2 college-age girls they're both at school right now. And you learn this the hard way, but parenting is a lifetime process of gradual release. And at the youngest ages, we need to provide that support, help them find the structure. As they move into middle school and into high school, we have to step back and release and allow them to make those little mistakes along the way. I found that organization is so important, executive functioning kinds of skills, being able to manage themselves and their time. It's where we focus a lot on emotional intelligence throughout the district, K-12. That's that's our social emotional learning process. And really focusing on that too, understanding that as students grow up, the development of their brains is a lot slower than we even worried about years ago, right? We learn more and more about the time it takes. Give them the time, let them make those little mistakes so they can learn from them. Yeah. And, at the end of the day, most kids, almost all kids, do well and do right when they know how. So a lot of times if a child makes a mistake, it's because they just didn't know how to do it right, or they don't have the tools, or they don't have the they're not in the place. So let's make sure as adults, we're setting the conditions for kids to make good choices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that executive functioning thing. We probably expect too much because we've all learned to be organized. But if we thought what we did when we were 12 or 13, we weren't so into our planners.
Yeah, that's right. I have one daughter who loves her planners and still, like, she's a senior in college this year. She still uses a planner. And the other one, she doesn't know what it means. It's just, they don't use it. It depends.
I try to tell my kids to write on planners, and they're like, no, it's in my phone. I'm like, uh-huh.
Yeah, and then the next question is, show me.
Show me. Yeah, exactly, exactly. No, it's true. They're growing. So I hope that the kids are feeling excited too. And I'm sure everyone in your district knows, but let us know, when's the first day of school?
So our teachers are back on Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
And then the following Monday, the 30th, kids are all back. And we'll have our new times in place, and we'll have everything ready to go. We'll have the outdoor learning center work going on. We have new tile floors, the technology set up. So yeah, it's go time.
It's go time. All right. Well, at least the kids get to, that first Monday is going to be a little easier because they're starting later, but we need to start getting them to bed now.
That's right. That's right. Start early.
Start changing the time schedule. Yeah. All right. Summer's coming to a halt. Thank you, Dr. Letzi. We appreciate your time and wish you a wonderful, productive, and happy school year.
Thank you. It was absolutely my pleasure. Great talking to you this morning.
You too.
Good luck to you as well. Have a great school year.
Thank you.